tough quarantine COVID time. Also, speaking of shout out, the new Busta Rhymes single featuring Belle Biv DeVoe, the video is fire. Go check it out. And speaking of people that's putting out new music, my boy EA Ski that has the theme song for Power Moves came out with a song featuring John Connor with Reflect Music. But in addition to that, he's going to be producing that super group, which is E40, Too Short, Ice T, and Ice Cube. They're working on this compilation album that's going to be bananas. Bananas. So look forward to that. On the sports tip, our boy Giannis Antetokounmpo signed a 5-year, 200 and something $million deal extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. He is getting that paper. He's locking it in. He's saying he's a Milwaukee Bucks man for life. That's major commitment. Great negotiating power. I mean, he's locking it in for his family. I think personally speaking, also with everything that just happened with the lockdown, people want to make sure that they are locking down their money and their contracts, because keep in mind, you're not getting those same ticket sales. And part of the negotiation of the players, the NBA players and the association, was they were getting a piece of the proceeds of the ticket sales. Well, now, if, we don't know how long this COVID thing is going to last. So now you got to go with whatever is going to be your guaranteed money. So lock that in as soon as possible. So I thought that was a pretty strong power move. And that's what you're noticing with everybody else. What's very interesting, and then we'll wrap this up when we speak about guaranteed money, is two major artists just signed off either their publishing or their master rights. Bob Dylan just sold his publishing for $300 million to Universal Music Group. $300 million. Question is, if you're selling it for $300 million, someone is buying it. And if someone is buying it, that means they're going to try to make a return on that. You normally at least 5 to 10 times. So we'll see what happens with that catalog. In addition to that, Mr. Lil Wayne sold his masters of all his records to the Universal Music Group as well for $100 million. So what's going to happen with that? Stay tuned. But with that being said, let me introduce you to the person, because we're talking about buying assets and flipping it so that you can make major returns on your money. Or at the same time, let's just say that you are just looking to find the deals. How do you find the deals? So with that being said, we have a man that's a firm believer in faith. He wrote a book called Have Faith in Your Faith and Doubt Your Doubts. Raised in the South Bronx, he's cut his teeth in the lending field in banking at some of the most prestigious banks in the nation. Frustrated with the increasing loan denials for gifted entrepreneurs and hungry entrepreneurs, he decided to go rogue. He has created the Funding Guy Incorporating, a cutting-edge lending firm that caters to emerging entrepreneurs. So if you're looking to get this money, this is the man, this is the source. He secured over $1 billion allocated to small retailers, emerging restaurateurs, hoteliers, and apartment developers. He rises every day at 4 o'clock in the morning. God bless you. And he says the reason why he does that is the fear of not reaching that one developer, that one aspiring entrepreneur, that one real estate investor before they give up on their dreams. And when he's not doting on his beloved Knicks, yeah, God bless us with our Knicks. We see what happens. This 5-time best-selling author, he is the funding guy. The Robin Hood of banking can be found all across the country, even during COVID, where he's focusing on buying back the neighborhood. Because, right now, gentrification is big. but you know what? It doesn't have to be a bad G word. So with that being said, let's welcome to the show Mr. Ed Felder, the funding guy. What's up?
What's up,
Power
man?
move. What's up, baby?
Yo, everything is gravy, man. Everything is lovely in this marketplace here. Thank you for inviting me to come back home to Tampa, my hometown of 20 years, man. So I'm feeling lovely, man. Let's turn this thing up. Let's create some wealth in the building.
Let's create some wealth in the building, baby. That's right. New York style, baby. So Ed, man, you know what? I gotta ask you, bro. You know, with this whole COVID thing, I don't know if you saw, there was an article in the Rob report that 10,000 restaurants are going to be going out of business. And you know, we just read your bio where you helped restaurateurs, you know, get the funding that they need. But now these folks are going out of business in New York, and maybe all, and not even just New York, but just all across the country. You know, anything that's retail related, folks that are landlords. Right now, New York, the vacancy, I mean, the occupancy rate's about 30 something percent. Talk to your boy, man. How do you make money in this game right now?
Yo, let me go back. See, I see you got. I came on the right day for the right show for the right reason. Look at God. God is good. Listen, can we go back hip hop? We talked about Jay-Z and publishing. That's talking about being a brand, right?
Yes.
What did he say? He said he's not a businessman. I am the what?
I am the business.
So listen, and we could take it one step further. One of my favorite groups of all time from Staten Island is the Wu-Tang Clan. And one thing I absolutely love, and if nothing else, I want your guests to take this, the listeners to take this, your audience to take this home. What do they say? Say CREAM. Cash rules everything around me. Get the money. Dollar bill,
y'all.
Here's the thing. In this market, there's not a shortage of money. There are wealthy people all over. There are trillions of dollars on the sideline waiting for people like you, waiting for your listeners to say, hey, this is an opportunity, right? They don't want a 30-page business plan or a 1,500-page plan. No, what they want is a 30-second concise plan on one page to say, hey, I'm buying this brownstone. I'm buying this 10-unit. I'm buying this restaurant. It's worth $1 million. We're buying it for $200,000. And this is our plan to turn it around and to show cash flow, right? To show money, show how it can be made. I have a contractor with McDill. I have a contractor feeding the Hillsborough County school system, right? Show the investor how to make money. I don't care about your credit. I do not care about the cash you have in the bank. I care about you finding an opportunity. And this is it. At the end of the day, this is it. You can accumulate excuses or you can accumulate assets. Be a brand, right? Be a brand in this marketplace. And that's how you pivot during the pain. Like you said earlier, bro, you're like, listen, have faith in your faith and doubt your doubts. I preach that every day. There are so many people that hate on me, so many people that don't despise me, but that's okay though, right? Like I'm given a particular gift. Each one of your listeners are given a particular gift, right?
Yes.
They didn't give it to mama, right? They didn't give it to some. This is your gift, right? And if you say you want to do real estate, you want to raise money, you want to do a restaurant deal, God gave you that vision. Wake up and dream and then execute on it, right? In this market, there's going to be more opportunities than ever before. Can I tell you something really quick?
Absolutely.
In 2008, 2009, 2010, right? When the market went to hell in a handbasket, right? It was a group of hedge funds, right? In New York City. One in particular, there was dozens of them. And guess how much they were spending a week? $100 million buying property in urban America in inner city. I didn't make a mistake. $100 million a week, and that went on for 36 consecutive months. They are now the largest landlord in the world, right? Because you and me, we weren't astute enough to go out and figure out how to raise money, right?
So hold on. So let's drop some names. Is that Blackstone you talking about?
Blackstone. You listen. Blackstone was one of them, but there were dozens of them playing that game. And right now in this marketplace, guess what happens? There's still people right now who are going to replay exactly what they did before. The game plan is out there, right? We just don't have a blueprint. And listen, I wrote a few books, like you mentioned, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you game. They're coming back in your neighborhood. You know what they say? You want to hide? It's okay. I call color people. If you want to hide something from color people, black people, African Americans, people in urban America, they say put it in the book, right?
Right.
I'm giving you game. Like Jay-Z said, I'm giving you $1 million worth of game and the art of the flip, right? So you figure out the moves. It's a blueprint. It happened in 2008. It's getting ready to happen again, right? So
Mm-hmm.
opportunities out there. You must be prepared with your capital, or if you don't have the capital, right? If you don't know how to raise the capital, and we'll talk about that later. Find the opportunity. Like I talk about in my books, there's opportunity hiding in plain sight. We pass it every day because it looks like a problem, but it's an amazing opportunity right now, staring you in the face. And if you don't do it, someone else is going to come and develop Tampa Heights in front of you. Someone else is going to come and develop Ybor City in front of you. Someone else is going to buy that hotel in New Tampa, right underneath your nose. So what are we waiting for? Someone's going to do it. Why not you?
And that's right. That's right. So Ed, you know what? This is the other thing that's interesting. So I want to ask you a question about is now that Trump is out of power because he was the real estate guy, right? With a lot of the tax breaks. Now that we have a Democrat coming into power, how does that affect business strategy when it comes down to getting into this real estate game?
Well, listen. So first of all, it's going to be a whole lot of mayhem and madness, right? So we talked about pivoting the pain, right? Being able to see that. But on the flip side, what are they talking about in that particular marketplace? If you see older buildings, right? Like right now, there's some new programs out there. If you're doing $1 million project, $10 million project, whatever, you could bring 20. It's government programs that will give you 20% equity on the renovation projects. So everything that President-elect Joe Biden, and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris have talked about as far as renewable buildings, renewable highway projects. And listen, so if you go in there, say for example, there's a series of buildings in Ybor City. It's like a 10 unit. Like I had a 10 unit in Ybor City that had a whole block, right? What
Mm-hmm.
about tear that whole thing down, right? And it cost me $5 million to rebuild, right?
Right.
Everything that I do, like how do I get the $5 million? Everything that you do that's energy efficient, they'll give you a dollar for. That's from the equity program. You know what I'm saying? How
Mm.
quick is that? No problem. Vacant land, knock it out. 20% of that will be given to you. It's called a cap. It's a great program. So if you do your light fixtures, right? If you change the water, the roofing, the windows, water heaters, right? Whether it's a renovation of a tower or construction, at least over $500,000, that's 20% money they're gonna give. They will give you cream. What's the excuse at? Where's the excuse? You can find one of your listeners today can go find a building, go to an investor and say, listen, I have 20%. Don't tell them about that they're getting free equity, right? Do you want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuses are over, right? This is what the
Mm.
administration is doing. They want things that's going to save energy, that's going to save the world, right? Great. Be there for them, right? Be there
Right.
for them. Don't sit back and wait. Make it happen. Be the brand, right? Let me tell you something, man. Watch this. This show is about power moves, right? You said it's Power Moves Radio, right? I
That's
love
right.
that, right? But we have got to be the brand. It's I do a lot in addition to have written 10 books and stuff like that. We gotta be a brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
But watch this here. We, we know what's happening, right? All the statistics say what's about to happen. Many of us are not being prepared. And it's a quote I love. It says the victorious warrior wins first, then goes to war.
That's right.
The defeated warrior goes to war, then seeks to win. Yo,
Mm-hmm.
it's a matter of preparation, right? It's a matter
Absolutely.
of learning. Where's the blueprint, right? Where's the
Mm-hmm. So speaking of blueprint, man, so kind of break it down a little something, something, because I think I love what you just said. That was a gangster move, and I'm going to kind of slow it down a little bit because you was going kind of fast because I understood what you meant. But at the end of the day, what you're talking about is paying attention to what the government is offering. If you don't know what's going on, what the programs are, how can you really be in the game? Understand policy. The second step is saying, how do you leverage that policy so that you look like the man on top or the woman on top, right? So breaking it down, when you said, okay, the government is making sure that they're giving you equity when you do renewable energy or refurbishing and et cetera, all you got to do is find like a church, or you find, you know what I'm saying, a vacant lot, or you find a really messed up neighborhood and you come up with the vision, and then you partner up with folks so that you can then turn that around. Is that what you're
Sure.
saying?
So that's exactly it. So one thing you want, everyone wants to run there and buy a property, right? The first thing is in this market, you want to find something called VA, right? Write that down, people. It's called value added. Where's your value added opportunity? That means if I'm buying, like today, someone called me today with a 30 unit property in Atlanta, 30 unit, 2 bedroom and bath. They're going to convert it. It's vacant right now. We're buying it for $400,000, right? We're going to put six.
What?
We're going to put $600,000 into it, and it's going to have an after repair value of 2.5, right?
Yeah, oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I did. I'm back.
Yo, yo, I didn't leave. I'm in the building, baby.
We had we something fell down, had to figure it out, but it's all good. But anyway, as you were saying, the after value $600,000. Keep it moving.
400,000 purchase, right? $600,000 renovation, and remember, 20% of the renovations we can get from the government program, right? That's just equity, cream, cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the $1 million in total for the 400 purchase, 600 renovation, with a $2.5 million after repair value once it's stabilized, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
project will take about 9 months to complete, 3 months to lease up, and then you can refinance it, give all your investors all their money back, and you can still walk away with about $500,000-600,000 in your pocket. And
Mm.
what? What? You don't have to touch a pencil or anything, and the lender will almost give you 100% funding because it's an aftermarket value. So you look at your comps. Does it make sense? Right?
All right, so time out, time out, time out, time out. That's a very key point that you have to mention there, because you talk about the after the ARV, right?
Yes, sir.
It's so big because it's the ARV. Talk about why, because you slipped it in there. It's you slipped it in there, but talk about how the bank or lending is lending based off of the ARV as opposed to what you're doing.
So great. So it's and when you look at commercial, it's based off of rents. So say for example, you have 5 apartment complexes in a 1 mile area. They're all the same age, uh, but one of them is like to say I think it was Electric Company or Sesame Street or whatever. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is just not the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Much TV grown up, right? But here's the thing: if all the other ones are 100% occupied, right? If all the other ones are $1,000 per unit and yours has 10 people in it and only paying 500, there's a problem with you as a management company. And so I would buy that knowing if I bought it and fix it up, my property also would then be 100% or pretty close to 100% occupied. I would take my rents from 500 to 1,000. I'll take it probably from 10% occupancy to 99, 100, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're based off of cash flows. Remember we said Wu Tang Cream. So if I can show repayment, right? If
Mm-hmm.
show cash flow, that's a win. And then there's another thing. Many of us are like, I laugh, right? In my books, I talk about Popeye the Sailor Man. And it was a great, you remember Popeye the Sailor Man? There was a guy named by J. Wellington Wimpy, right? The guy,
Mm-hmm.
he always wore a suit and jacket, right? He didn't have a hat, he didn't have a Kango, he had a fedora on his head, right?
Right.
And he always began, right? And he spoke in a fancy thing. So he impressed people with his outwardness, right? And he said, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday. Look at this for a hamburger today, right? That was a hustle. Like, yo, that dude never came in Tuesday to ever repay a debt, right? He
Right.
never had a plan of repayment, right? So it happened over and over and over. I'm sure word got around that, yo, this guy's not to be believed. This guy can't deliver. Yo, don't get, but the hustle was going on. And that's the problem. Many lenders look at us like we're Jay Wellington Wimpy, right? Jacket, right? Fancy car, a nice bio, right? But can we show repayment? What is our concrete plan? Are we just smoking mirrors? Put a detailed plan. It could be a one-page summary. Why are we buying this property? Why does it make sense? And yeah, I know it's in it for you, but what's in it for your lender or what's in it for your investor? How do they win by partnering with you? Because again, if it's a great deal, people will bring money. I had 5 people call me today. Eddie, I have money to invest. Where can I invest it? How can you put deals together? So, right? So that's the thing. If you can clearly find a value added property and you can say, what is my exit strategy? Hey, we can finish up your 9 months to rehab, 3 months to get it filled up. It's worth 2.5. We can refinance it at 80%, right? That means that
Mm-hmm.
you walk away with $700,000. You can pay back your investors. That's one way, right? Refinance it. The second way, you can sell it and make your 1.5, in equity back, right? So those are strategies that you can use. The lender wants to know how do I get how I get in the deal? How do I get out the deal? Just like in marriage sometimes, right? Yeah, I do. Here's the ring, but stuff don't work out. It's something called a prenup at times. If things don't work out, how do we get out? So
Mm-hmm.
if you can show an investor could be a retired teacher, police officer, a doctor, accountant, a plumber. Like there's a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines. And to be honest with you, people are pissed. If they have $100,000 in the bank right now, they're getting like 1%, right?
No, they're not even giving that much.
I'm just being honest, right? But
Right.
so, like right now, we're raising the fund. Hopefully, prayerfully, by next year, we have $100 million fund at the minimum, right? So if I will give my investors 10% return on their money, plus I'll do a profit split. So the first 10% of the profit goes to you. Then we'll split that. The saves $1 million. We'll split it 50-50, or sometimes with the cash person, we'll give them 60-40 or 70-30, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, why would I not to do the deal? I still make 300,000 that I wouldn't have done anyway, right? I
Right.
get. Or so you want to figure out negotiate. If your investor is not astute, they just be glad with the 10% return and then leave you with the profit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's all about structure. It's all about. Let me tell you something. It's all about. So in the black community, people of color, what we fail to do is joint venture. A lot of us is do just complaining versus joint venture. There's deal after deal after deal. I won't come to you on, and I won't partner with you. We've been bred almost taught not to partner, and that's okay. Let me tell you a crazy story if you don't mind.
Nah, I
Uh,
don't. I don't mind.
okay, it's somewhat embarrassing, so you're gonna laugh at me, but it's okay because I want your listeners to learn. About 15 years ago, it was a group of investors, right? These guys were real novice, right? And again, I'm embarrassed that they were novice. I met them. This guy had probably did one mortgage in his life, right? He was a mortgage broker. He did one or two residential mortgages. That it. I met him at a conference. So the first thing, go out and network. Two, be a value add to that person. We connected, uh, and so he was a guy of Indian descent. So you know what he did? He said, "Hey, can you help me finance hotels and shopping centers and gas stations for my father's clients?" I said, "Sure did." So we were in a very lucrative partnership, quote unquote, non-partnership. He was
Mm-hmm.
shooting deals. I made him look good, right?
Right.
So we're doing hotels up and down throughout the southeast. We're making, 25, 30, $40,000 a pop. Everything is lovely. One day, old boy calls me into his office and he says, he has like a 300 square foot office. He says, "Eddie, we want to partner with you." Like, I'm like, when does the sensei ever partner with a white belt? I'm insulted, man. I almost march out the door, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
I don't believe in partnership, right? I got everything myself. Why do I need you? 6 months later, I'm hearing about a group that bought a $10 million hotel for $1 million cash. I'm hearing about a group that bought the vacant bank on Ashley and Kennedy and turned it into a loft hotel, made $20 million on it. I'm hearing about a group that bought Jackson's, that whole landing over there, right? The whole property, right? And
Mm-hmm.
hotels all over, 20, 30, $40 million at a pop, right? I'm like, yo, I wish I could meet these people. Look at God. Look at the listen, those were the guys who I taught how to do the business. Right? Right? They're
That's
doing so they're probably the biggest investors in Tampa right now, right? So I mean, it watch this. Even with the what is that thing over by the it's not the landing over by Ybor City. I think they just tore it down where the ships come in at. What was that called before it got torn down?
Oh, you talking about the shipyard? The
Not a shipyard, but what Vinnick bought. I think he's going to redevelop the condos and
oh,
stuff.
channel side.
They bought that and flipped it to, well, most people don't know, they bought it and flipped it to Vinnick, right? So what I'm saying is these
Mm.
guys were rolling in stupid cash because they knew how to raise money, right? And the other thing, they were open to partnering and joint venturing. Many of us, we don't have to be a superhero. Many of us want 100% everything. Find a good deal. Find people, step outside our comfort zone and find people who have money who want to do deals, right? Because people are pissed right now that their money's sitting in the bank. They want significant returns, right?
All right, so pause on that because we got to get ready to go on break. We got to pay some bills. We'll
Pay
be
the
back
bill.
in 2 minutes.
Trap Talk, Just Talk with Madam CJ. Right here on In Touch Radio every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Talk to me, baby.
Trap Talk, y'all, on In Touch Radio.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
All right, we back. This is Power Move on In Touch Radio, reality radio where everyone is a star. Our number is 813-444-9588. We are with the funding guy, Mr. Ed Felder, in the place to be. And we were just recapping the importance of not trying to do the whole deal by yourself. You got to understand that sometimes you got a partner, and don't get caught up in the ego, because we can all eat. But before we get into that, what I want to, harp on going into this segment, Ed, is we're going into the new year. This is the fourth quarter, going into January. What should people be thinking about? Because you talked about the importance of opportunity, talked about, looking at potential deals, understanding policy. You also talked about the importance of, creating your table, but don't try to eat the whole entire meal, right? So what should people be doing in terms of structuring so that they can be prepared in going forward into next year?
The first, and to be honest with you, many people, we too many of us are what I call stumblepreneurs, right? Stumblepreneurs. They get started and stop. Get started and stop. Someone looks at them sideline, quit. Someone says you can't do it, quit. Feelings hurt. No, that's the first thing. Too many of us in the next few weeks, we're going to have what's called a vision party. Now it's going to be virtual, right? And we're going to spend $15,000, all these different vision parties, right? That's not the thing, right? Yeah, I would love to have a great big shiny vision board party, but what's more important than the vision board and all that stuff, being a stumblepreneur, is being someone who has a yellow sticky pad that says done, finish, complete every day. Small tasks. Challenge yourself. Get up 15 minutes early every day. Hey, I want to buy an apartment complex. I want to learn how to raise money. I want to connect with people who have cash, right? Write them down and then research, right? Who are making moves? If you don't know anything about real estate in Tampa, do the first thing. Your first assignment, if you choose to accept, is no longer mission impossible, is to go online and get a copy of the Tampa Bay Business Journal. It will tell you where everything is happening in the market, right? They're going to tell you about 3 or 4 years ahead of time where Tampa Heights is going to be developed. They're going to tell you about the next DOT road closing. They're going to do an expansion. They're going to tell you about the opportunity zones. They're going to tell you where possible baseball fields may be, right? What's going on, right? Mm-hmm. Don't be reactionary. That's the first thing, right? Read, research, and then be able to take action, right? Find the people who you can be a value at. Hey, I understand that you built the last few buildings in the area. How can I help you? How can I bring value to your organization, right? And listen, we have an advantage. There was a time before where there were all these country clubs and private clubs where we couldn't meet people at the golf course, right? We can't meet them at the private clubs. But guess what we all have right now? We have the internet, and people aren't going anywhere. You get on LinkedIn, tighten up your LinkedIn profile. Get on there, meet them on Zoom, follow them on Instagram. Hey, how you doing? I love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. You keep giving that person over and over and over. Stalk them. Stalk them till they love you like you love them. And then say, hey, I would love to bring you value. Right there. So you just follow. You just went by and figure out what's going on. Tampa Housing Authority looking to expand. People, Tampa Park Apartments, people are out. Bring a value, right? Where else can I move these people? Who's building that thing? How can I add value to your deal, right? But you should have been doing that years ago, but it's not too late. Let me tell you something else. A lot of times we can't wait to get started. Small moves. You know what I did this week? Just this week. I said, you know what? I want.
Ta-da! He's moving so fast, he put himself on pause. Hold up, you're on mute. Let's unmute you. Hold on. Hey Ed, we lost what you said for the past 3 minutes.
No, we're gonna come right back at it, man. Listen, be the brand, right? Be the brand. For example, knowing that you invited me to do the show. So guess what I just did today? Just to give you an example, right? You don't want to go out there and chase the cat. You want the cat to come to you, right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I did. So you want to be a brand, right? I went online and bought a bunch of 99 cents domains that I'm going to spend $25 a piece, right, to build these domains. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Off-market duplexes, right? So anybody in the world who's looking to buy a duplex or sell a duplex, I want them to come to my site because that's a key word, off-market. Everyone who's an investor likes the term off-market. So I said, fine, let me get that domain. So I said, let me be greedy. What else can I do? So I said, off-market quads. Now I'm in it for $2, 2 domains. That's nice. Anybody looking for a 4-unit, they're going to, somehow or another, they're going to come to me. Buying and selling, wholesale, right? Value added. They're going to love me. And matter of fact, when I have that site, I get first dibs. I said, let me do it again. I'm in $3 now. Off-market triplexes. Look at God, right? So now I said, you know what? Let me step it up additional level. Off-market flips. I didn't hit pay dirt, right? I bought this for $1. I could literally sell this for $50,000 in a few weeks. Who wouldn't want off-market flips? So now I'm in for $4, bro. That's after you called me, right? So then watch this here, $25 a piece. Then I bought Ugly Hotel Guy, Ugly Apartment Guy, Ugly Hotels, Buy Back the Neighborhood, Wall Street Journal, and Black People Buy Property.
Wow.
I'm out of $10, right? And I just spent $1 million on domains, because people are going to be looking for these things, right?
So that's a power move, and this is the thing. The funny thing about what you just talked about is when people think about real estate investing, all they think about is, like you said, the whole action of buying and flipping, HGTV, rehabbing, blah, blah, blah. But what I love about what you're talking about, which is the power move, is understanding all aspects of it and how you can make this money. So in other words, you like, you know what? I know the proper vocabulary, the vocabulary that gets people attracted to this business. And at the end of the day, I'm the man, I'm the honey. So you need to be with me. Right?
And you know what? Here's the crazy thing. When Amazon got started and Jeff Bezos, right, he didn't create any product, right?
Right.
Only thing he did was he mastered Google, right? And if you put in the book thing, you wouldn't go to the publisher, you wouldn't go to the author's page, you would go to his page, and then he got it there quicker to you than the Books a Million and anybody else. How great is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So master Google. So what I just gave you is a lesson. Create some nice domains, tag it with some keywords, and quarterback and wait for something to come to you, right? I got 3 deals just the last 2 days. Massively profitable deals just because they found thefundingguy.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do any keyword just because the funding guy picked up a $3 million deal today, right? I can't tell you everything, but that's being a brand, right? So at knowing what's going on in your market, crazy thing, right? Another stupid, crazy story. When I was a lender in Tampa, I had all of New Tampa, all of Carrollwood, and some of downtown, right? So I was making these loan decisions until my bank got purchased by Bank of America, and I started my own thing. But one of the last loans I did was for a nice young man, right? He said, Eddie, I'm going to be the king of all payphones. I said, what do you mean, homie? I have an amazing opportunity to buy 2,000 payphones in the Tampa Bay area. I got all of them in the airport on lock. I got all of them in the stadium on lock. I got them all over in Plant City and Strawberry area where some of the Mexican people are going to use phone cards. I'm going to make $1 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buying all these payphones. But what happened in the next 3 years? Next 3 years, everybody was in the cell phones, right?
Right.
This guy is out of business. He was not a visionary, right? So right now, if you're just playing, if you're out there just, I want to buy and sell and flip, that's not going to work. There are companies in this market right now called OfferPad and Zillow and Redfin. They have the information, right? And people are going directly to them and say, hey, it's $1 billion company. Say, I'll buy a property in 2 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to buy from them. You're going to buy it from Ray Ray or you're going to buy it from Kenny Rushing. You're going to buy it from that name, right? So why would they? These are $1 billion brands, right?
Right.
So guess what's going to happen? Who are they going to buy it from? They're going to buy it for them unless you have a niche. Just like if you're raising capital, right? Hey, I'm buying hotels in Florida, 40 units or less, and I want to raise money to do that, right? Niche. I'm duplexes. I'm quads. I'm ugly hotels. I'm ugly. What are you doing that you niche down where people absolutely love you, right? So niche on that. Know your market, right, and know how to figure out the comps. What is everything else moving? What's happening in my area that's going to increase my value, right? What is the highest and best use of my property? There's so much going on right now, and we are missing out because, you know, we're proud and we don't do the basic things, just like the most basic things. And people, listen, people are willing to give us money. Right now, I have a lot of 100% funding. If you got a decent credit score, I can get you, and if it's a great deal, 65% all in, right? I can give you, 100% funding if you've done 1 or 2 deals, right? Like last week, I had somebody who did 3 deals, and the past year, I got them a $10 million line of credit, right? $10 million line of credit. They had $100,000 in the bank, whatever. But,
so was that $10 million line of credit? Let's break it down. Was that business credit or was that personal credit?
So it wasn't business or personal, but it was so we have to create. Remember, you can be a stumblepreneur or you want to be a business, right? They set up an LLC. They had decent personal credit, and so we gave them this $10 million line to say, hey, go buy anything that's value added, and if it makes sense, you already have your line. You could buy that quickly. But it has to be within, it could be apartment, it could be retail plaza, it could be a single family home. But as long as you buy it, say, for example, say you buy it for $200,000, you put $500,000 in, it's worth $1 million. As long as there's a spread of profit in there, they'll fund them all day up to $10 million. Right in the so now that person knowing they got that money, they could just sit back and negotiate the heck out of you, right? Cream, right? And you can negotiate. And watch this. And what if they came to you and said, listen, you have the money, I can put the down payment, and can we joint venture? They could sit back all day and loan you the money that they've been loaned. They can warehouse your line. Easy. They don't care about your credit. They don't care about your can you find me a deal? I'll partner with you. Like, if you find a good deal anywhere in Tampa, they'll do it. I got guys that call me every day. We're looking for deals in Florida. We're looking for deals in Tampa, apartments, right? They're looking. They're thirsty. There's been a great exodus, right? You guys have a competitive advantage. Everyone is leaving New York. All the rich people are leaving New York and going to Florida, or they're going to 18-hour cities. 18-hour cities means that, good transportation in the South, better weather, less crime, less hustle and bustle, but they have stadiums and other things going on. That's where people are going, right?
Why so hold on. So rewind. You call that what, 18-hour cities?
Yeah. So Charlotte, Nashville, Tampa, professional stadiums, professional team, a good economy, right? Like, I can buy a 10-unit. Someone called me yesterday for an 8-unit in Brooklyn, right, for $2 million. I could build a 20-unit, a brand new 20-unit for $2 million in Tampa. Why would I invest there when I can buy it? I don't have the union, all that stuff. You guys should be looking for land. Oh, I don't know how to build. It's something called prefab. You know what prefab is?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm home. Can I take my jacket off? Look at me home. Let's break it all down.
Let's get it in, baby. Let's get it in, baby.
So we just finished an amazing masterclass, but we're getting ready to offer another one. It's called the 40-Door Challenge. The 40-Door Challenge. And I'm challenging everyone in my masterclass, it's going to be sometime in February, that we want them all to own 40 doors. So either 40 houses or 40 units, right? So, right, if you can go in there and find a 30-unit right now, bam, that's great, right? But what if that may take 9 months, 19 months to do that renovation. But what if I taught you how to do a prefab where they can come up and do that 4-unit? So in my 40-door challenge, there's 4 properties, 4 property types: 4-unit, 10-unit, 20-unit, and 40-unit.
40-unit, right?
And it's prefab. Like, you may take a year and a half to develop and all that stuff there. With a prefab, most of that stuff is made in the warehouse. So in 90 days, that 40 units up, right? In 90 days, that 4 unit is up. So now that lender is thinking, he's not much of a risk. versus 9 months or 19 months. He's got it done in 90 days with tenant rented out.
And pause. I want to pause right there because I want you to talk about the velocity of money and the impact of, and that's the reason, and explain the reason why you talk about prefab as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, doing it from scratch and stuff. I mean, you mentioned it, but I want you to kind of break it down into schoolhouse rock terms.
Schoolhouse rock. So watch this here. So the time is money. So when you look at a prefab house, it's not going to be concrete for the most part, but it's going to be wood frame house, and most people can go up to 4 levels. So wood frame, and there's some steel houses as well. So many new hotels are being done as what? Modulars or prefab. Don't. It's not a mobile home. Don't, because that's what people's conception is.
Mm-hmm.
So once I finish my construction on a modular or a prefab for a hotel, 40-unit apartment complex, there is no difference. It's the same material used, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same material used. You don't have to. You cut back on the significant architectural costs. All of that stuff there, they bring those assistants. So you don't have to run around and chase Ray to do your roof, right? Miguel to do the plumbing. Somebody to put the windows in. The vast majority of that is done off-site, and then the contractors link that stuff in there. So oftentimes it's done quicker, 90% less waste, right? And now you can just move. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4. If you make 3 or 4, 500,000 on each deal, you can keep moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
The risk of you failing because you don't have the expertise, you don't have the labor, you don't have that, is going away because of prefab. Now your only challenge is knowing what city or government agency is going to be begging you to do a deal, right? Right? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
City of Tampa, you got all these people that need some place. Great. How much you paying for a 2-bedroom, 1 bath? I got you. Right? And now you can tell your developer, you can tell your lender, hey, I have 100 or 200 or 500 people waiting for my 400 unit.
Wow. Drop the mic, son.
Booyah! So listen. So what I'm teaching you is what's going forward. Don't be that payphone guy in a 5G environment, right?
Right.
Build your brand, have them coming to you. Find land. I'm gonna give one of your listeners something free game, right? So y'all just heard me say what? Off-market duplexes, off-market quads, off-market triplexes, and the winner is off-market flips. What about off-market land, off-market lots, off-market, your Tampa off-market land? Yep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Build that up and find that niche and post all and go out there and get offers. Give somebody $1,000. You know, hey, you want to sell a property? Make moves, right? People are looking to come down to 18-hour cities. If you can find a good, what's called infill lot, that means if you're in Ybor City, if there's 10 houses around and 1 house has been burnt down, that's an infill. You know why you want to go there? In a changing market? Because the water is already there, the electricity is there, all the underground stuff is already there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to the city, whether it's Seminole Heights. You got a lot here that's on the curb that's already been done. We'll go do it. Brand new property. You could take old and renew it. And listen, man, it's opportunities everywhere. Where's DOT going, right? So figure out what moves are making in your city and get there. Be at the table, man.
So Ed, let's talk a little bit about. I want to touch on family and multi-generational wealth, setting that up. How important is it? And let's talk for specific circumstances. Single mothers to create entities with their children and getting into this real estate game. How can you remove the fear for a single mom to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get this money?
Yo, I'm not even trying to push my stuff, but I am trying to push my stuff, right?
Man, no, we it's all about the plug, baby. Push your stuff.
The art of the flip. Education is the great thing, right? So even if it's not my book, get the education. Like literally, I'm in 5 master classes. I'm in 5 groups where I learn from, right? I'm in a group right now with a bunch of bankers who raised over $50 million last year. I'm sitting down with them. I want to have 100 million. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've done every type of deal, right? But hey, remember, I wasn't smart enough to raise money. I did the debt. And when those guys had the money, they were able to make moves. Now I'm learning how to do what?
Raise the debt, raise the funds. Yeah.
Raise the money, right? So go take a webinar. Take 10 free ones. Join, follow me online at thefundingguy.com on Instagram or Edward Felder on Instagram, right? Follow my personal page, right? Follow because I'm dropping dimes all the day. Hit me up at info@thefundingguy.com and be prepared to take my next masterclass, right? I am always reinvesting in myself. Reinvest in your brand. Take your desire from being a hobby, right, to making it serious, right? Setting up your LLC for $300. Be as authentic on paper as you are in your mind. So when people see who are you, I'm offmarketflips.com. Bam, let's do business with this guy, right?
That's right.
Let's make it happen. Listen, so everyone who signs up on that site, who emails me at info@thefundingguy.com, I will give them a free audio book, right, on how to go get business credit, but more importantly, how to set up your entity, right?
Wow, that's you. Listen, this is coming to you from Power Moves, baby. Our boy Ed Felder is helping you. So that's the next power move you got to make is set your entity up and help you establish business credit. It is not a game. So you know what? So Ed, you know we're gonna have to do some type of a paid webinar or something. So we're gonna have to coordinate that because in terms of master classes, this is what Power Moves is all about. We're gonna walk you through it. I love that 40-unit challenge. Let's go get it in 2021. Because even though COVID is definitely keeping people indoors, but you know what? At the end of the day, the three things that people need is food, clothing, and shelter. So if they need shelter, whether it's a business or whether it is a place to live, get a piece of that action. And Mr. Funding Guy is the man. So thank you for sharing with us because we only got 1 minute left. But once again, what's your website and your email address is?
Thefundingguy.com is our website. We have plenty of product there. Invest in yourself. Believe in yourself, right? At the end of the day, I want everyone to sing this song like all I do is win, 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 no matter what. No matter what, no matter the hate, no matter the pandemic, no matter what, you got to win. And last thing, I know you got to go. Like at the next week, the emergency injury disaster loan program ends. You can get up to $150,000, no signature via the SBA, 30-year loan at less than 4%. If you're in business, right? If you have your paperwork, go to that site and apply. It's not too late. It's not too late to apply for that money. Can you imagine what you could do for $200,000 at 3%, right? Over 40 years? Check it out. That's love, man.
That's love right there.
Tampa win, man.
That's right. And not only Tampa, any city, like you said, them 18-hour cities, you dropping some jewels today. But once again, this is Power Moves where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you next week, baby.